Today, we are delighted to welcome Martijn Meima. Martijn is a coach, trainer, and author from the Netherlands with a background in management and business administration. Since 2007, he has been helping entrepreneurs connect with what he calls the undercurrent, the invisible energetic layer that influences every business. He is the author of The Effortless Entrepreneur, a book that introduces a new way of doing business, one that combines intuition, authenticity, and flow, creating success with less effort and more joy. Martijn integrates business knowledge with system constellations, visualizations, energy work, offering a practical yet deeply transformative approach to business. Martijn, I welcome you to our first online event in Greece.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, the first online event in Greece. Well, can be an online event is everywhere actually, right? But okay. Yes. Is it for me to start now?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for hosting me. It's great to see all these Greek names in Greek. I studied Greek for 1 year in high school, but I cannot read everything anymore. And yes, I'm here in the Netherlands. We just talked about it. It's cold here. It is rainy here. So it's always good to have friends in Greece and to have business in Greece. So tonight I would like to explore with you how to do business with less effort. And less effort doesn't mean you lay on the bench and watch Netflix all day and then get clients. It's about finding a way to do business that is more in line with who you are and more in line with nature, maybe. We're going to explore it. And the way I work is that I would like you to experience it. So I have some exercises that we can do and that you can really already tap into this intuitive information and get information for your business. I assume everybody has a business, right? Anybody who's like, because for employees, this is also good, but if you don't have a business, how many people don't have a business? Put it in the chat. That's why I know a little bit. Okay, yes, one. Okay, so most have a business. That's good. And if you don't have a business, just translate it a little bit to your own situation. That will work. Me as well. Good. And then a question I also like to ask, because I work a lot with these intuitive methods, like business constellations. So who's familiar with business or family constellations? Yes? Or maybe I should ask who's not. Who's not familiar? Okay. Okay. So I will explain a little bit about that also. Cool. Yeah, like Nico said, if you have questions, put them in the chat. And for me,
Yes.
it's okay to answer them also during the talk. Otherwise, it's like half an hour ago you said this, what do you mean? So for me, it's also okay. Also for you, Nikos, if you have a question, just ask it.
And
And the different ways I approach doing business. And during that presentation, yeah, depending on my intuition, we'll dive a little bit deeper and we'll do some exercises. So, and again, if there are questions, let me know. And there's also at the end is time for questions and answer. All right. So I'll share my screen. How to run your business with less effort. Yeah, I like it. I'm a lazy guy, actually. So for me, it's always good to find ways to make life easier. Oh, how does this work? This works. There it goes. First, a little bit about myself. This is me when I was, well, I don't know, 6 or something. And my father and my mother. So from family constellations, I learned that it's very important to know where you come from. the country, the history, all the hidden stories in your family, they influence what you do and how you are. So these are my parents, and they're all, of course, also grandparents. I'm born in the Netherlands, stayed in the Netherlands. I lived in the US for 1 year. Oh, yeah, that's the next one. An American field service to um, actually to bring peace into the world. And that's also part of what I do. And I lived in Texas for 1 year, and there I really got an idea about the world being very small, and that, well, we all live together here, but we do it in a different way, and everything is okay. There are different ways of doing things. So it really broadened my view also on, well, not yet on businesses, but more on life. Then I studied at the University of Groningen, where I studied management and organization. And it played an important part in my life because I first started working for IBM. I've been a programmer even for a year. But then I found out that I liked organizing, consulting. I liked that a lot better. So I worked for this consultancy firm. It was a consultancy firm for small and medium enterprises. There I worked for 10 years. In the meantime, I got married, 2 daughters. They're now 24 and 22. And in 2007, I started my own company. First, I was very creative. I started Meima coaching. But then I found out that what I'm doing is intuïtief ondernemen. That's Dutch for intuitive entrepreneurship or doing business intuitively. And I translated that into business intuition. And it started actually when I did an aura reading. I don't know if you know what it is. Then somebody sits opposite of you. They don't know you at all, and they close their eyes and they see your aura or they see images. And she just shared all kinds of information. Information about my background, information where I stood, information about my challenges. And it was so accurate. And I thought, wow. I said, wow, that you have this talent. It's great. She said, this is not a talent. This is something you can learn. And I thought, wow. So you can learn to read auras, you can learn to use your intuition. So that's when I started, I think it was 2005 or something. I started learning to use my intuition. I started developing my intuition. And the first year, that's very interesting, is called self-healing. So actually a whole year long, every Thursday night and some weekends, I was focused on.
Το έκανα αυτό για κάθε μια φορά την εβδομάδα και
Oh,
κάποια Σαββατοκύριακα.
the interpretation has ended. I think something happened. Nikos?
It's okay. I tried to add a second interpreter.
Oh,
Something went wrong. Now it's okay again.
okay. Okay, good.
Sorry.
No problem. Things happen always for a reason. So that's also something I learned is that everything is okay.
I tried to add a second interpreter. So I will try it again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now I did it correctly.
Cool. So the first year is really discovering your intuition. So I've learned how to use my intuition professionally, and that's what I also do in my business. And I thought, wow, how would it be if you could combine that with my business background and could apply it to companies? Then in 2008, I learned how to facilitate business and family constellations. And to explain it very short, that's a modality, a way well, it started as therapy, but it evolved also in a tool for businesses in which you place people in the room and they represent certain elements from your question, stakeholders, clients, maybe branches or marketing channels. And they get information by standing in that field. And that information helps you as an entrepreneur to take decisions or to make things go smooth again after they get stuck. We might do a constellation in this webinar. So I combine all these business ideas, marketing, entrepreneurship, processes management, with psychology, with non-duality, some shamanism, and constellation work. And oops, I missed.
I didn't touch anything.
No, it was me. I touched something. There we are. Where's my screen? How do I see my screen? Here we go. Yeah, so I combine all these things, and I've also, at a certain moment, decided not to focus on entrepreneurship, more on coaches, but then it didn't work. So I really like to work with entrepreneurs, with businessmen and women about how to improve your business, but not by working harder or making all kinds of mental decisions, targets, deadlines, goals. I like to do it more in an intuitive way, effortless way. And that's what I wrote down in my book, the Intuïtief Ondernemen or Moeiteloos Ondernemen. And in English, it's called The Effortless Entrepreneur. And this is me. It's a little bit of silly picture of combining business with spirituality, as you call it. So yes, and this is a little bit of a stereotype, but what I see is like an old school business. It's old men in suits wanting money, making money, only focusing on money, on growth, on more, on, yeah, very ego-centered. While I see what is happening in the world and what is needed in the world is a more eco-centered world where it is a natural growth. It is not based on if I do this, then you lose that. It's more like we're all connected. And from this connection, we have a natural growth, and we're focused not only on making money, we focus on much more. It's like we want to create something in the world, and money flows automatically. It's like a result from the things we do in the world. Yeah, so I think that's the most important thing. This is the movement that I see in the world also, and that's what I want to contribute to. And well, apparently you are also in one way or another attracted to this kind of work. A friend of mine, Frederic, and we developed a model of the world that I like to share with you because it helps you to understand what I do and how I do it. So in this model, and it's related to the iceberg model, which is very known. There is the service current, and in the service current, we have what we see with our senses, 5 senses. And there are the money we earn, it's the website, it's the stories we tell, it is the people we meet, it's the buildings, everything that's visible. And many coaches and many trainers, they work on this level. It is about how can you improve your business? How can you use AI? How can you do marketing? And mostly it's like if you follow these 4, 5, 20 steps, you will be successful. Or if you do this, then and you follow me, then you will be successful. And it's all focused on this service layer, the service current. And that's perfectly okay. Because if this works, really do it. But what I see is that often it doesn't work, or it works without doing all these things that the experts say. So there is what I call the undercurrent. And the undercurrent, I realized it's a really, well, I think in Greece it's also, you understand what it is. In rivers, but also in the ocean, you have the surface current and it moves in a certain direction, but underneath there is another current. Might go in a different direction. And we call that the undercurrent. And there is the conscious undercurrent. So it's below the surface, but you are aware of it. So, for example, your emotions. You know if you're happy or not happy, or know if you are anxious or not. Sometimes it's also visible in the surface current. But people can ask you, how do you feel? What are your emotions? Worldview, very important. That's what I'm sharing now. This is how I view the world. It's not always apparent in the service current, but the way I do things are influenced by the way I look at the world. The stories I tell myself, the stories I believe in, those are stories that influence the way I act in the service current. And these are symbols for archetypes. My inner king, my inner dancer, my inner architect, my inner wisdom keeper. So there are all kinds of inner parts that we have, and they influence the way we act in the world. And then you have what we call the subconscious undercurrent. So it's underneath the water, the surface. You don't see it, and you're not aware of it. So these are the untold stories in your business that you don't know about. So especially in bigger businesses, there are stories that are not known. Stories in your family that are hidden, maybe deliberately hidden, secrets, but maybe also just ignored, like stillborn children or maybe something that happened somewhere. But they do influence the service current. Archetypes. There are all kinds of archetypes that are more hidden. Parts of ourselves that we don't really like, that we think we don't have. Like I thought I was never angry. Anger, I don't know. So this angry part of me, no, that's not there. Well, it was there and it still is. But also maybe the prostitute or the murderer or the thief. So those are archetypes that are a little bit dark. But with archetypes, the interesting thing is all archetypes have a light part and a dark part. But by putting them away somewhere in your cellar, they are influencing the way you act in the service current, but in a way that you're not conscious. Then we have all the energetic connections. So we are all connected in a way, energetically with, but also in other ways. So it's also interesting to explore that how are things connected with each other. And this is the three symbols for the three principles in systemic work. What we have found, or what all the pioneers in this work, the systemic work with constellations have found, is that there are like three life-giving forces. There are different names for it. Life-giving forces that are available in every system, in every business, in every person, in every family, in every country, in every tree. So it's very interesting to see these, but they are mostly hidden. So the circle stands for inclusion. Systems want to be complete. They want to include everything that belongs to the system. So, for example, the hidden stories are maybe the parts in the history that are not very nice, maybe in a war, maybe where there was somebody killed, or so they want to include everything. People that were fired, but well, we don't talk about the person anymore. Systems want to be complete. Then there is the scale, so the balance of giving and taking. All systems communicate with the environment and they take from the environment and they give. And this giving and taking needs to be balanced. So you give as much as you take. And partly it's money. Money is a very good way of balancing giving and taking. But part of it is also recognition, honoring, seeing somebody, providing a safe space. So there are many more ways of giving and taking. And then the triangle is about order. Every system has a natural order, meaning that some things come first and some come later. Some people are higher in the hierarchy and some are lower in the hierarchy. Some are older, some are younger. Some have more experience, less experience. Some have been with the company longer and some have been with the company in a shorter time. So, and as long as the orders are recognized or acknowledged, everything goes smoothly. But when the order, well, is not recognized or is, well, is mingled with, or there are problems with the order, then in the service current we will see issues. So the thing is, in the service current, we will see issues that we think are caused by something in the service current. I don't get enough clients. I have a lot of sick leave in my organization. I seem to have this glass ceiling that I cannot go above. I get sick all the time. I have a burnout, or in my organization, I see many problems with safety, or with there are not enough females in my organization, or when they come, they leave again, or this function has an issue. Every time I find somebody new, he leaves again. I cannot find enough people. Those are all issues in the service current, and they might be caused by issues in the subconscious undercurrent. And with intuition, but we'll get to that. Because underneath all this is what I call source. Source, or God, or oneness, or light, or whatever you call it, where we are all one. There's no you, there's no me. And it's a very difficult concept to grasp for our left brain. But the interesting thing, if you can watch the TED Talk, My Stroke of Insight, there is this neuroscientist, and she gets a stroke and her left brain is damaged. And then she explains how she can feel that she's connected with everybody. She is one with everybody. So in our brains, we also have that. And our left brain takes over. And there we have, okay, this is me, this is you, which is very practical for this world. But there's also a part where we're all connected, we're all one. That's source. And if source flows through the service current, then you get a business, and you get flow, and you get effortless work, and you will see that there is like a, how do I say, a balanced and harmony world. But because of the troubles in the subconscious undercurrent and the conscious undercurrent, well, the source is distracted and we see issues in the service current. And with your intuition, you can go all the way to this source. So this is how I look at the world. So when I work with people, I don't focus only on the service current. I've done my management and organization degree, my master's, so I know about that. But I see that more issues are either in the conscious undercurrent, or mostly in the subconscious undercurrent. So today I also would like to take you there in this presentation. So again, to emphasize, if you're connected with source, your actions lead to more connection instead of more division. So, well, in this world where there's a lot of polarization and division, it would be great to connect to the source again. It will not only benefit you and your company, but also the people involved, the planet. So because it comes from a place where we're all one, it creates also results that are all one and good for all. It's also more in line with who you really are, and therefore it will feel more effortless. So I always say there's no one size fits all. One size fits nobody. So you need to be aligned with your own truth and with your own inner guidance. And then you will find ways to create and to do business in a way that is really effortless. If there are any questions, put them in the chat. I will see them. And if they're in Greek, then
No,
Nikos will translate.
we don't have any
Okay.
question yet.
Okay. Then my book, because I thought, well, why don't I write a book? And well, there was a whole process. I will not tell all about it. But in the morning, I woke up, and when you wake up, there's this stage of being awake and being asleep. It's a stage that you're very much connected to this subconscious undercurrent, or to this source. And there I saw this star. Well, I first thought, wow, this is the Jewish star, and in the war, it has all kind of connotations in the Netherlands. So I changed it, but then I thought, no, this is what my intuition told me, so I need to follow it. So this is what I saw. And then I thought, okay, there are 6 aspects to create success in your business. Where success is not only money, but it's also relationship, it's happiness, it's also a fulfillment. So success is much broader than just making money and having a big car. And we'll go through over all of these because I think they are in the important things of doing business. The first one is personal, which is of course very strange because if you do business, what is personal? We need to separate the two. No, you are not a different person at home than you are at work. So it's good to look in the mirror and see, where am I blocking my business? Where am I accelerating my business? And here's also, how does my intuition work? And how can my intuition help me to thrive and to give me information that my rational mind cannot give? And then the second one is surrendering, which is a very strange topic for a business. Now, I've never seen a business book, oh, surrender. But what I see is that in life, there are so many larger forces that you can use for your business. For example, there is, when you create a business, there's already a movement, an energetic movement in the undercurrent, which you can serve. So you can already tap into that information and serve it instead of thinking that you have to decide and think about everything yourself. There is your mission in life. I believe that everybody has some kind of purpose in life. And if you tap into that, it can help you to grow your business. There is Earth, which is a very powerful source here on Earth. There is heaven that we can connect to. So there are many more larger sources that we can connect to. And it's not only God, it's also very practical things like your business. You can connect to your business. And it will really help you to grow your business. Customers, like a magnet. How can you attract customers like a magnet? Money, and I've shaped it in a heart. So in essence, money is love. It's a very strange statement, but that's really what I feel and know that is true. And then the last is taking action. So in the end, we need to take steps. We need to do something or create or act. So I will go over these, and then if there are any questions, let me know. I think there's a question, right? Or not?
No, I write about the upcoming workshop and about the book.
That's
In
very
the chat.
important. Okay, so let's focus on personal. And I wrote what I call a haiku. It's a Japanese poem. It has like a certain structure. And I hope it helps you also to, in this undercurrent resonate a little bit. An inward journey, transforming the outside world. How ready are you? So this is about that life is a mirror. Everything you see is a mirror of what's inside. It's not always nice to hear. I sometimes hate it. But it's also good to realize that everything that happens is in a way a reflection of what happens in you. So if you want to change something, you need to change something in you. So if you want to grow your business, you need to grow something in you. I remember that when I wanted to go internationally and I wanted to reach a larger audience, my coach said, sit on the ground and enlarge your holding space, or enlarge your, actually my pelvis, make it bigger so it can carry a bigger audience. It's a very strange thing. How can you meditate and enlarge your pelvis? But energetically, it really worked. I made it bigger and I could sense, okay, now I can hold more space and I can hold more people in my space. So that's one thing that you need to realize. Then there is intuition. And for me, intuition is much more than your gut feeling. Your gut feeling actually is not your intuition. Gut feeling is disturbed by your anxieties, by your fears, by your also by your longings, by your pleasure. So it's a big mess in your gut. So intuition for me is very pure, and that's what I learned in this training. Intuition has 6 channels, and I think it's interesting for you to explore this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a visualization, and let's see how it works with the translation. I'm going to do a visualization with you where you can explore what is my main channel or my communication of intuition. How does my intuition communicate with me? So please close your eyes. I'll stop the presentation. No, I'll just leave it. And intuition is a silent voice. So it's good to slow down and quiet down. And what helps is using your breathing. So when you breathe out, you slow down, you relax, you surrender to gravity. And try and see if it helps to to breathe out twice as long as in. So 2, 3 times, 3 counts in, 6 out. And when there are thoughts, it's perfectly okay. Just say, hello, thought, and then you let it pass on. You are not your thoughts. And when you feel itchy or when you feel uncomfortable, and say, hello, itchy, hello, uncomfortableness. And you focus on your breathing again. So you don't have to be Zen or this enlightened monk. You can do it whenever you want. Whoever you are. We are all intuitive. And feel the breathing in your belly, or maybe you can even feel it in your upper legs, or maybe in your feet. And then feel your feet on the ground and really connect your feet with earth. So maybe you want to imagine roots of a tree. Maybe you just feel that your feet are heavy, heavy, and they are sucked into the earth, all the way to the core of the earth. And also connect from the crown, the top of your head, with source, universe, whatever you call it, something larger than you, larger than us. The creator, light, source. So here you're grounded and connected to this larger universe. And imagine that you're in your own bubble. And this is very powerful. If you imagine like this energy bubble or egg, or some people have another visualization, and yeah, create it. And I use my hands always because I like to move around in this aura. That's another word for it. So sense, where is your boundary? Where do you end and where does the world begin? Is it very small, very big? Do you have a boundary at all? What is the boundary like? Is it like bulletproof glass or is it clouds? Is it the same in the back as in the bottom? And make it comfortable. So make it a space that you like it, make it a structure, the boundaries, make it the way you like it for now. During the training, we're going to more experiment with it, that you can change it whenever you want. Take a deep breath and sense if there's anything else that you need, your body needs. Maybe you need to move some body parts so that you can really tune into your intuition. That is what this is about. And mind you, this takes 2 minutes. So 2 minutes to calm down, tune into yourself, and then you can tap into your intuition for your business. So I really would recommend only doing this. But for now, I would like you to take one step further. And imagine that you're walking in nature. And just any nature will do. You walk, you see yourself walking, or you see as if you're walking. There are two ways you can see it from your own perspective, or you see yourself walking in nature. And I don't know, in Greece, I think you have these warm days, but there are a lot of pressure, and there's a prediction that there's going to be a thunderstorm. But it's safe and you're okay. You thought, I'm going out in nature just to enjoy it. And you feel safe and you feel your body and you smell what is there. But then suddenly there is the thunderstorm already. So observe the thunderstorm. How do you observe the thunderstorm? What is the first that comes to you? Is it a sound? Maybe a feeling, the thunder feeling? Do you smell the ozone? Do you see the lightning? Do you see the clouds? Do you feel the rain? Maybe you taste something? Or do you just know that it's a thunderstorm? What came first? What came second? Maybe third? And what didn't you feel? Can you maybe not smell anything? Or so take a little time to explore this thunderstorm information. How do you register it? See if you can smell something, maybe you can feel something. So invite yourself to open up all the senses, your intuitive senses. And then with like all thunderstorms, it just blows over, the wind takes it away, and the sun starts shining again. Maybe you're a little wet, but that's okay. You let go of the thunderstorm, and the sun dries your clothes. And then you go back to where you started, and you can slowly open your eyes again. And I would like to invite you to put in the chat what are the 3 channels, or maybe the first channel, the first information. How did it come to you? Did you see it? Did you hear it? Did you feel it? Did you taste it? Did you know it? Smell it? So put in the chat, how did in this image, this thunderstorm come to you? Felt it, yeah. Felt the wind, then saw lightning. Okay. Yeah, this is Greek. Wind, smell afterwards. I saw the lightning first. Okay. So we see everybody has some kind of information, right? Or we saw somebody who said, I didn't get any information. Wet. Okay, cool. I saw the thunder on the sky. It was dark and the lightning, but it was far away from me. Felt the rain on my face. Lovely. Enjoyed it. Yeah, intuition is also fun. So here, And this is what I wanted to explore with you. We see the 6 channels of intuition. So the first one is feeling. The second one is seeing. The third one is hearing. Fourth one is knowing. The fifth one is smelling. And the sixth one is tasting. But they are all intuitive tasting, intuitive smelling, because, well, like we said, there was no thunderstorm, but we all could see or feel it, or there was different ways of exploring it. And these, what you sensed here, is the main channel you have. So when people say use your intuition, it's not always feel, because I see a lot of seeing or a lot of some even hearing, and then the sound and smell. So use also these channels. If you talk to your intuition, ask what smell belongs to it, or what sound is here, or what can I feel, or what do I see? And images really help also. So ask for an image. And with the knowing and the feeling, I would like to mention that the feeling is sometimes in your gut. So it's good to realize that the gut feeling might trouble your intuitive feeling. So it's good to explore how to separate the two. It's too far for now, but it's good to see mostly intuitive feeling is lighter, is quicker, and the non-intuitive feeling is like boom, boom, boom. Same with thinking. Thinking and your clear knowing. Your knowing is like a flash, it's very fast, and the thinking is like slow and very heavy. Yeah, so when I speak, I see images, yeah. So for me, it was a very eye-opening because, well, literally eye-opening, because I thought that intuition was feeling and I didn't feel anything, but I could see a lot. I'm very visual, so I see videos of people and well. So I use visual information for my intuition. And also knowing, I get like these insights. I don't know where they come from. It's like, whoa, there are they. Okay. Any questions here? Good. Then we go to the next one, surrendering. The greater essence manifesting in your work. Driving force propels. Yeah, maybe you need the Greek translation. Well, Nikos is going to translate it into Greek. Good luck, Nikos. So this is about, and here you see this man standing with this river, these waterfalls. So if you jump in the river, even with a canoe, you can try to go against the river, go up the waterfall, and it's possible, of course. You can build all kinds of things, and we can, well, even maybe empty the river. But the easiest thing is to go along with the river, follow the natural path. But that also means that yesterday I had this guy, he said, yeah, you say surrender, and I want to surrender, but not when it's not going the way I want it to go. Yes. So that's part of surrendering, is that you also allow things to happen in a way that they happen, and maybe not the way you want them to happen. So this is, and also for me still is a very big topic. How can I surrender and at the same time create? Am I a creator or am I just a follower? Is what is good, what is bad in that? Well, that's something that we're also going to explore in the training. But surrendering for me is an important aspect of doing business effortlessly. Because what I've seen, if I surrender, then things just happen by themselves. Things just pop up. People pop up in my lives. Some people find my website. I suddenly get an idea and it becomes successful. So things happen without me taking a lot of action. And that's, well, I always think you have to work harder and then you get more. But I've learned that no, sometimes these things just happen. There is a larger force that flows through me or something. So yeah, like I said, what you could think of is your mission in life. But it's also life itself. I get a lot of clients and they are struggling with life. Like almost that they don't want life to happen to them. Mostly it's something in the youth, even with birth or before birth, that there were issues on coming to earth. And it's good to realize that, because that is influencing, of course, your hope, a lot of your life, but it's also influencing how you create things and how easily you can let life flow through your business. So how easily you can run your business. If you're resisting life, then it's almost impossible to not resist your business, because it's part of life. So it seems a little bit maybe whooshy, but it is very practical, because it really helps you to run your business better. Another one is the soul of your business, or the purpose of your business, or I also call your business an organism. So it's an entity, it's a living being, but it's just not, it doesn't have a body, but it has an energetic body. And if you can connect to that energetic body, it can really help you, because the business is created for something. So the business has information of where it wants to go and what a good way is to go. The business is almost like the river, and you just have to let the river bring you somewhere, because you created this river. So it wants to go somewhere. It wants to go where you want it to go. Only the river, the business knows how to do it, and you are just a simple human being. We don't know how to do this. Of course we do, but it's good to add this. What I've seen, if you add this information, it really helps you to find new ways of doing things, easier way of doing things. So did I see questions or no questions? Okay.
They want something. I wait to know what.
So maybe the person can open the mic and ask a question.
It is referring to the book in Greek.
Okay. Yeah. So that's something that you can maybe answer later. So, and this is also part of the training that I give. One part is about this surrendering, and we're going to do all kinds of exercises to connect with this surrendering, to sense what our business can, how our business can help us grow the business. Yeah, for now, I think this is enough. Okay. Customers, clients, very important, because without clients, you don't have a business. So it's actually the core of your business. Opening your heart, connected with customers, a magnetic pull. So here is a little different way of marketing. It's not about, well, creating shortages, being visible on social media every day. Well, all these these ways of connecting people or getting people to buy your stuff. It's not about the five P's. Of course, it is about the five P's, but for me, it's about connection. Because if you do all the things on social media or on your website or a live presentation from this connection, it creates so much more than that you do it because you think you should do it or somebody else told you need to do it. So this makes it more authentic, and it makes it more embodied, and that way it makes it more believable. And it's very good to realize that doing nothing or meditating is also a way of marketing. Marketing is not always being visible, being out there, shouting harder than your colleagues. No, it's also about some undercurrent marketing, you could almost call it. I call it intuitive marketing. So using your intuition to find what is your way to attract the clients and customers like a magnet. Yeah, let's do an exercise here. You need 3 pieces of paper for it. So if you don't have pieces of paper, please go get them. And I'll stop this. So we're having 3 pieces of paper. If you don't have room around you, then just do it on the table and make small pieces of paper. But I always advise you, if possible, do it on the floor. And I point here because that's where my floor is. 1 piece of paper. This is going to be a marketing constellation. And everybody can do it. So even if you don't know anything about constellations, just follow the steps. First, what you do is on the 3 pieces of paper, the first one, you write the name of your business. Then the second one, you write ideal potential clients. We make it very beautiful. Ideal potential client. We only want ideal clients. We don't want all the other clients. Ideal potential clients. So clients that are not clients, but could be clients. And then you write on another piece of paper, the bridge, as a metaphor of how to reach these. Or maybe the magnet. Make it the magnet. That's maybe more interesting. The magnet. So what is your magnet? That's what we're going to find out here. And then I would like you to place these papers in the room as if you were placing 3 people. So they need to have a direction. So maybe you want to draw a nose or an arrow on it, so you know which way are they looking. So you put 3 pieces of paper in the room as if you were placing 3 people. And if you do it on the table, put them on the table. And yeah, just intuitively. You can think about it. It doesn't really matter. Just put them there. Okay. And then what you're going to do, you're going to explore these different positions, these different elements. At first, I want you to step on your business that's closest to you. So it's good to start there. So step on the business and face the direction that you put the paper in. And while standing on that piece of paper, first go inside. What do you sense here? You might want to close your eyes, but just for a little while. Because afterwards, I want you to open the eyes so that you can see the other 2 people or papers. So what is your business feeling like? What is it experiencing here? And it could be some physical sensations, could be emotional, could be some thoughts, could be energetic. And if you have it on the table, then touch the piece of paper or the thing that is representing your business. And by touching it, you can feel your whole body, how it is. And then it's interesting, how do you relate to the other 2? And also, if you have it on your table, look as if you're looking through the eyes of this little paper on the table. How is it to see the other 2? And if you do it on the floor, imagine that there are 2 people standing. Can you see the people? Can you see your magnet? Can you see the ideal clients, potential clients? What happens if you connect with them? Do you feel okay, or do you feel drawn to them? Or maybe you want to move away? Do you feel excited or a little bit afraid? It's all information. And maybe you feel a movement. So if you feel a movement, then move the piece of paper towards the place your body wants to go. So not mentally, like I need to go there. No, it's, oh, my body wants to move here. And it's good to realize that your mind might not understand everything, which is perfectly okay. And then you step off this piece of paper, or you release this piece of paper, and you step on the piece of paper of your ideal potential client. And again, face the direction that you put the paper in. And first check, how does it feel here? What do you experience here? How does your body react? How is it different from being your business? Now you're representing, that's what's called representing your potential clients, your ideal potential client. What are they focused on? What are their issues? Maybe you can already feel some issues that they are like, I don't feel right. So they have, of course, a question or an issue why they come to you. And that might be very clear here. Or maybe you get an image. And how do you, from this position, relate to the other two? How do you relate to your business and how do you relate to the magnet? And it's just exploring. What does my body tell me? Do you want to move, maybe? And move. Or maybe you feel like, oh, the magnet doesn't matter. I just want this business. Or maybe you feel like, oh, maybe you can also imagine that there's a person, the owner of the business. Maybe you're more connected to the owner. Maybe there's still a little bit of a blockage. I don't want to go. I don't feel that I want to go. So maybe you can ask what is needed here. And then I want you to step off this piece of paper and let go of the piece of paper if you touched it on the table, and go step on the magnet. And again, check what's happening in your body. Do you have thoughts here? And this is about how do you attract these clients? So maybe you even get ideas, or maybe you get images of what works for your marketing here. And this is information that comes from the undercurrent, from the subconscious undercurrent. So sometimes it's very clear. You need to write a post on LinkedIn. And sometimes it's a little vague. It's like this yellow triangle. And just register everything. Maybe you want to write it down because it might make sense later. And maybe this also wants to move. Maybe you feel in your body, I want to be in a different position. Then move to the different position. And take a little bit more time if you like to explore it a little bit more. What happens if you step on the business again? What information do you get? Or maybe you want to go back to the potential ideal clients. So for yourself, explore it a little bit more in the next 2-3 minutes. And take it slowly. Take it slowly and really become quiet to get the deeper information also. Not only like, oh yeah, this is this. There's always a deeper layer of information. And maybe you want to write it down, or maybe you make a drawing with information that you get. Because in my experience, it might make sense now, but sometimes it makes sense in a week or 2 weeks. Okay. And if you want to finish it, then you thank the papers and you put them back on the table. And that way you finish the constellation. You close the constellation. And realize that it's not only happening here, but there's also things happening in your body already. By the movements, by the information you got. And that's also why it's, for me, it's effortless. Because now sometimes you automatically go do something different. Now this was a very small constellation. If I do constellations, it's also more about a healing movement. We're going to see where's the blockage between you and the potential clients. How can we work with that? So, but this was just an exploration to get information about you and your marketing, but then intuitive marketing. Any reflections, any questions, put them in the chat. Okay, no questions. Then we continue. Oh, there's 1, 2. Really interesting. Thank you. Then there's some Greek I don't understand. Can I translate it? No. So grateful for the information I got. Yeah. Many changes of the papers. Okay. Free time. Okay. Could this work even if you do not have a business yet? Well, that's a good question. There needs to be some kind of idea about a business. Otherwise, there's just no system. There is no entity yet. So then the energy cannot go into the papers. You cannot tap into the energy. But if you have a business idea, this morning I did also a constellation with people that had an idea to create a business together. And you could already sense the information from the business. You could already sense the information from the clients. Yeah. So that does work. Yeah. Relation with the potential clients. Yeah. Felt blocked when I had the paper of magnet. Okay. So it's all information. And yeah, in the course, we'll dive deeper into it and also do some healing and some changing. All right. Thank you for sharing. Money. I love money. The flow of love moves between giving and taking. Money manifests. Yeah. Once I did a workshop on money for myself, and in the end, I could really sense money is love. Very strange. But because I was raised that money is dirty, and if you have a lot of money, you're a bad person. So there's a lot of projections on money. Projections from, well, in this case, my parents, my family system, from society, from your village, maybe, from your culture, from your religion, past lives. So money is really contaminated, but in essence, money is love. And if you can clean money, and that's what we're going to do during the training, if you're going to clean money, then you can have a much better relationship with money, and money can flow freely in your life. Because you can imagine, if I think then if you have a lot of money, you're a bad person, I'm not going to allow much money to flow in my life. No, I don't want to be a bad person. So I needed to clean that, and then money could flow in my life. Money is also related. Well, no, money is one part of success. And as Bert Hellinger, the founder of Family and Business Constellation, says, success has the face of your mother. So if you look at success, you actually look in your mother's eyes. And then the question is, can you allow the unconditional love of your mom flowing through you? And that's the question. And Well, maybe you can already, if you want to do a little bit of a taster here, you imagine your mom behind you. And to make it a little bit easier, place your grandmother behind her and her mother, her mother, her mother. So a line of about 7, 8 mothers. So your whole female lineage. And just exploring yourself. What happens? Can you feel this unconditional love that comes through them? Are there blockages? Do you want to run away? It's all okay. But it says something about your success and your allowance of more money in your life, more abundance in your life. And you can also try to, in the back of your back, on the back, you have this, at the place of your, the middle of your chest, but then at the back, you can open like the little doors. And there you can let this love flow in. And then you let yourself fill up with this love. And just sense, is that easy? Is it difficult? Do you want a small opening or do you want it big? And we're not going to go dive deeper now. This was just a little bit. So thank your mom and her mom and her mom and her mom. All these women, thank them that they were there and let them go. It was just a little experiment. How is it for you? And of course, you can do a lot of healing here. You can do a practicing. You can all kinds of ways you can create a better relationship with this female lineage. And money is about giving and taking. So it's also about pricing. What price do you ask? So here you see, and that's also the way I work. There's some deep personal work with this lineage, and there's some practical work. What price do I need to ask? Because price balances the giving and taking in systems. And money is a very good way because I give energy, I give time, and then you give me money. But yeah, there is an intuitive systemic balance that works. So if I ask too much, it's not going to work. But if I ask too little, it's also not going to work. Okay. Time. In a flash of now, being spread out in time, rhythm in unity. So this is about that time actually doesn't exist. Time is something our left brain creates. And it is very practical because that's why we are here now together. But at the same time, it's difficult if you want to run a business because we try to manage time. We try to put time in frames. We want to have deadlines. But time is something that flows. And there's a rhythm. Something goes fast, sometimes goes slower. So during the training and the way I work is that I help people to surf time, to see time more as a wave that you can surf. And sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it goes slow. Sometimes we have to act, and sometimes we have to do not, and to not act. So it's really about dancing. And that's a different way of dealing with time than all the time management methods that I have learned, because they're mostly about priorities, about planning, and it doesn't work. So in my book, I also described that there are 3 different, actually Greek gods from the mythology that represent time. Kairos for the right moment, Chronos for the clock time, and also Eon. I don't know if it's a Greek god though, but that's for the eternal time. Very interesting to see something from eternal time because then we're just like this flash in time, and it's actually nothing that we are right in right now. So time is a very interesting topic, especially for people that always have not enough time, don't know how to manage their time. This is a very more intuitive approach to time that can really help you. And then action. And this bridge is because I ask in the book also, Are you willing and ready to build the bridge while walking on it? Because we don't know what's going to be in the next 10 years or 5 years, or not even 1 year. So are you okay to take a step and then see and then take another step? A movement in time, pulling towards results. Take one step forward. Because all you need to know is what is one first next step. So you can have goals, but for me, goals don't really work. They narrow my mind too much. Intentions might work, like, okay, this is what I envision. And then I go back to the here and now. What is the first step? And then what I call, or what is called synchronicity, it's meaningful coincidence happens. So this person comes there, I read an article and I get an insight here, some YouTube movie or video I see. So this is really about daring to just take one step, not knowing what the next step will be. And that's what I want to finish with before the question and answers. I want you to find out what is the first next step. So maybe you can close your eyes again. Take a deep breath again and let all the information that came from me and all the things in your head, let them flow into the earth. Just surrender to gravity. Slow down again. Calm down again. Become more quiet again. Connect your feet to the earth. Connect your crown to the universe. Feel your own bubble, your energy, your aura. And then focus on something you want to put in the world, maybe a new product, or maybe your business in general, or maybe some personal thing, I don't mind. So focus on that. Maybe just see it. And then let your body move you to a very quiet place inside. There might be places that are very busy, but there is also a quiet place inside of you. And there you ask the question, what is my first next step? What is my first next step to reach this? And then flash, the information is there. You see it, you hear it, you know it, you feel it, you taste it, you smell it. What is my first next step? And write it down or draw it or just write down the smell that you get. You might want to ask, okay, so how am I involved here? What is it exactly about? Can you tell me a little bit more? So you can ask your intuition for more information. Write it down. Maybe it's very clear. Maybe it's like a total mystery. Both are okay. But it's the first flash because then our minds come, maybe our anxieties come, maybe our enthusiasm comes. But it's before that, the information that comes, what is my first next step in this case or in this situation? Okay, so, and then I would really invite you to take that step. If it's clear enough, take the step, do it. And if the step is meditate or relax, because most of the, I see it a lot, it's like do nothing, sleep, do it. Because that's what is needed now in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So that's also with intuition and working intuitively is trust it, act upon it, and then you empower it because it's like an inner part. It's like a friend. And if you tell the friend, "Oh yes, I listen. Oh, interesting information, but I don't do anything. Oh, interesting information, but I don't listen to you," then the friend is not going to tell you anything anymore. So it's really, "Oh, thank you. I'm going to explore. Oh yeah, I don't understand. Can you help me again?" So it's really becoming more and more friends with your intuition.
Great.
All right. Any questions? This is the question and answer time. Your painting are intrigued. Yeah, these are paintings my mom made. So yeah, intuitively. He's a very intuitive painter. Any other questions? Or maybe any sharings? What is the first step? It's also good to put the first step so that we are all witnesses that you're going to take that first step. If you want us to be witness, of course. Yeah, we have a shy audience. Yeah. I don't bite. Well, maybe I'm very clear. It could also be. Everything is so clear. What is the education you mentioned? Yeah. Oh, okay. So there are few opportunities to work. Oh, shoot. To work on this. On November 14th, I start the online training, The Intuitive Entrepreneur. It's a 6-module training where we go through the 6 success accelerators I just mentioned, and we dive deep in it. It's 3 hours. We work with visualizations. We work with release techniques. We work with constellations, so that you can learn how to run your business intuitively and also heal or change things in your business so that it runs more smoothly. Well, if you say, I want to read the book first, I've written the book, you can go to my website, and it's not available in Greek yet. It's in English and in Dutch. And you can go to my website and request the 3 business intuition tools to boost your business. And then you also get my newsletter. So it's 3 tools that help you use intuition in your business. So this is what Barbara from Chile says. Very revealing and transformative. He's truly connected. I also do it in person, and the idea is to do it in person in Greece. But now I have the online one connected with the source, skillful and guiding group through a gentle yet profound flow of work. So it's a transformational journey for yourself and for your business. So I mixed the two, like I just said with money. You learn an intuitive approach to business where you have more flow, more effortlessness, create impact. I like people to create impact. And there's also energy and fun. And these are some of the modalities I use, but they're always business related. This is Nicola. She did the online training, looking for a new approach to bring the service to fruition. Yeah, she did one for coaches mostly. Very grounded space. You get tools that will be used long after the sessions are finished. So you also get tools that you can use in your business. For the Dutch people, there's some opportunity in Dutch. The 3rd of November, this Monday, about marketing and success. I have a 3-day retreat on an island, the 30th of November, and I have a year program. You go to my website in Dutch. This is Christina. She followed the training in Romania, major business moments, and she had I think it was a transport company, very interesting. Milestone, my personal growth pathway as well. I'm feeling free now. So it's really transformative. Okay. Any other questions? Could work even if you don't have a business. Oh yeah, that was that question. The intuitive entrepreneur, yeah, the first step can be an image of a nature, and how can I help this to unfold? Yeah, it can just be an image of nature, and then the question is, do you need to be in that nature? Do you need to hang that on the wall? So you can ask this image, what does it tell me? So you can really ask it a little bit more. And maybe you need to do a business in nature, or maybe you need to create a nature product. Then there's a Greek question. The first step that was revealed to me is to set aside time in morning for meditation and visualization. Yeah. So every morning, do that. Yeah. One movement in time can bring the next right movement. For those of you who are thinking about taking more time, new steps, Martijn's workshop is an excellent tool. Sounds very interesting, reconnecting with our intuition and our inner self in general. So in Greece, it will be a seminar for how many days? I think it will be 4 days, but we haven't planned it yet. This is also to see how you react, if you like it. If you're interested, contact Nikos. Any other question? When I'm doing the exercise, I felt blocked. How can I unblock and connect with my mind? Yeah. Yeah, the thing with intuition is it's also related to our inner child. Because as a child, when you're born, you're very intuitive. You're open. First, you are one with your mother, then you come into the world, and then you're still open. And then during your raising and your growing up, well, in some families that and some education systems, if we say we have this invisible friend, or I know that you're mad, mom, but mom says, no, you're not mad, you learn to cover up your intuition. And so these blockages could be blockages of your intuition. And actually, it's a protection. And you need to be thankful for that. Only the thing is that you're not 5 or 6 anymore. You're now a grown up. So it's time to release the protection, but it starts by really being thankful to this protection. Yeah, so this blockade most of the time, so it is in general, we need to look specifically in your case if you have a question about that. But in general, we are very intuitive beings, and during our bringing up, we tend to lose this. Or the other way around, we tend to overuse it because it's not safe. So we can sense if our drunk dad is coming home and if he is going to beat me or not. Or we can sense if they have an issue or money issues, and we can sense what we need to do or not do. So then our intuition is really disturbed by anxieties and safety issues. So that's also needs to, then you're very sensitive, but you need some healing to be more safe in your intuition. Can somebody translate Bill's question?
Yes, I do it now. 1 minute.
Yeah, you're welcome, Dimitris. In the magnet exercise, which was a very powerful experience, I connected easily with both the clients and the business. So the magnet felt unnecessary. It only worked as a messenger at the end. Is that okay? Everything is okay. So that's also something I learned. I learned a lot from facilitating constellations. There I learned that everything is information. Everything is there for a reason. And yes, because what sometimes we think that marketing and our magnet is very important. But what I also see, and especially with solopreneurs, is that you are important and that people are attracted by you, that you are the magnet or your business is the magnet. So then you don't need all this marketing, blah, blah, blah. You just need to put yourself in the world. So yes, it's really okay. Bill, yeah. Something we also might dive into is human design. I don't know if you're familiar with human design. It also tells you something about marketing because, well, human design is a way of, it's like a blueprint. It's like, I call it a manual of who I am. Very, very handy. But it's also a manual about who am I as an entrepreneur. So that's also.
Thank you, Martijn. Thank you, Nikos. I'm really happy that this is happening. And I hope that we can bring it in Greece because Greek people really need a guidance this time of our period living in Greece generally. I think it will be useful for new entrepreneurs or businessmen, women, you know. We can bring some light.
You can speak.
We can come to Netherlands.
Sorry?
Or we can come to Netherlands.
You can also come to the Netherlands, yeah.
Of course.
I'm grateful about today's presentation. Thank you very much. It was very enlightening. And I hope that we will gather many people so that we can enjoy your visit to Greece.
Yeah, I would love to.
Thank you very much, and looking forward to see your book in Greek.
Yes. Well, Nikos has to start writing, right? Translating.
He's already working on it.
Oh, he's already working on it.
I'm sure that the result will be brilliant.
Wow.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for everything. It is very relieving, and for once, I I had the impression, the sense that understands me, because not in this marketing, in this general marketing idea of making, I don't know how many posts or should do how many posts on Facebook, TikTok, or whatever. I am a silent marketeer. So it really touched me what you have said and all the short exercises that we have made. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great.